Welcome into the PHNX Cardinals podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Hungry for a big win this week? DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. It is that simple. Just remember to use the code PHNX when you sign up. We've got Frank Sanders, Johnny Venerable, myself, Chierstin Susel in the house tonight. And Frank, you look pretty good in that Carolina blue.
I want to say thank you for that. I was struggling with my wardrobe this early when I was coming upstairs. I was trying to figure out, like, bro, like you wear black on black on black, but then, I had a little shirt in there. I just let me slide it on. Honestly, like, real talk, like I have a black shirt underneath it. So, you know what I mean?
That's not black, that's green.
Well, I didn't want it to
like something wrong with my eyes. Is that supposed to be black?
I'm not trying to flash nobody, but hey, this is what Johnny gonna do on Thursday when y'all see that Manscaped moment. Flashing everybody, we don't care. Thursday,
I'll be escorted out.
We were eating. No. It's behind the.
Gotcha. In the VIP section.
The VIP section. Yeah.
And Johnny, everybody loves it when you wear red for some reason.
I know, like I have my red Converse and I support the team, right? And so, yeah, you won't catch me in a lot of different colors, but black, white, red. Usually my go-tos.
Red is flowing you, though.
I appreciate that. My wife's the big earth tones person. Green, brown.
I'm into earth tones.
Yeah.
Mostly black, but then earth tones if I'm going to get away from
black.
Is black
earth tone?
No. I'm mostly black, but if I don't wear black, it's earth tones.
But what is black, though? Like, I mean,
it's a shade. It's actually
know.
not a color. White, gray, and black are considered shades.
They're not a color.
No.
Okay.
Thank you for that moment. I guess you can tell, though. The Raiders, you are a shade of
That's
something.
right.
You're not a color. Your team is a shade, not a color. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, well, your team doesn't even have a color.
That's right.
You're a shade. Okay.
So bad. That was a good one.
All right. Unfortunately, I mean, good news for the Cardinals. It's anything COVID related, obviously is nothing to be celebrated, but the Cardinals are on their way out of a bout with COVID. Everybody except for Corey Peters is back at this point. Chandler Jones was given the green light, according to Vance Joseph. He is ready to roll for Sunday. There was reports that he had lost 15 pounds. Chandler shut those reports down, and apparently that's not the case, and he's good to go. But so that's the Cardinal situation. Packers are just getting themselves into one. So, we learned yesterday that Davante Adams and Packers defensive coordinator tested positive, and so it is likely that they won't be there on Thursday, but there's still a chance. And then Allen Lazard, because of contact tracing, for sure will not play on Thursday. And that's unfortunate for the Packers.
I'm sorry. I'm cheesing, but I shouldn't be cheesing.
You just got really excited.
I know. I apologize for cheesing. I shouldn't be cheesing right now because I didn't know if the line went up in the favor of the Cardinals.
Correct.
It went up. The line. Oh.
Half a point.
Look, I'm sorry. Because I got to get it together. I apologize. I didn't get that memo.
Restarting your set.
Yeah, I apologize.
Try again.
I got to get it together because like these are two dudes that's like these.
It's their starting receiving core.
Right. This is their starting receiving core. Very good.
There's a super chat from Shane. $2 super chat.
Here's.
Wait, so Shane actually paid for that?
Yeah, Shane just paid $2 for super chat for Johnny to get some new shoes.
He hates your shoes. Do you have a response?
Shane, don't be that way, bro.
Shane works for us, and he is just a dirty rat bastard of a person. And we're trying to do a show here, Shane. Be professional. Do a Cardinal preview show. We'll talk about this afterwards.
So, all right, back to So
look, it's COVID is still a constant conversation and a problem in the NFL in regards to just individuals as well as collectively for a team. But when it comes to the Cardinals and seeing that you are playing against an opponent that has basically lost two of his top tier players, I mean, these two dudes are balling in the NFL right now. And of course, Davante Adams' name is synonymous for touchdowns, and him and Aaron Rodgers have had a relationship, a one-on-one connection that has been pretty dominating in NFC North for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. So that's been pretty good. But when I look at that, that's it's sad in one way, but it's, to me as a Cardinal fan, and knowing that you don't have all your weapons that to bring them into on a Thursday game, and a quick turnaround game, I'm excited.
No one was sweating it for Cleveland when they lost Chandler Jones, that being the Cardinals and head coach Cliff Kingsbury. Most people thought, hey, just a competitive advantage for us. And so the Cardinals already dealt with their bout, and who knows, they could have another one, God forbid, as the season progresses. So, I'm sure the casual fan would rather see Davante Adams, Allen Lazard. The Packers have their full complement of receivers in preparation for a huge nationally televised game. But, I mean, if you're Arizona, you've got the number one scoring defense in the NFL right now behind Vance Joseph at 18.2 points per game. Your secondary is playing lights out. You're getting back 2 pass rushers, both in Chandler Jones and Zach Allen. And the team really has not played better since their arrival in Arizona. This is the best start they've ever had. They're at home. It's nationally televised. You don't make apologies over the course of an NFL season. We hope that all the players that are testing positive for the Packers are okay. But at the same time, I'm sure it's frustrating. But the Cardinals at the end of the year, if they go 14-3 or 13-4, I mean, no one's going to remember if what is happening in the chat.
There's another super chat. This one from Bird Gang Travel, $3. New shoes for John.
So
$5 whole towards new shoes.
Is that
Johnny.
insinuating that my shoes are worth less than $5? Or
no, it means they're trying to eventually accumulate enough, but it's just like a little bit here, a little bit there.
No one better start a GoFundMe. I'm perfectly capable of buying my own shoes. I have many different shoes.
Johnny, we don't explain them about that.
I'm
man.
never going to go open-toed on this show.
You look fly, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have loafers. I have dress shoes.
Did you buy these shoes just for the show? Because it looks like they're barely worn.
No, they got some dirt on them. I have a couple pairs of Converse. I thought we're doing a casual show, and I've got running shoes,
jogging shoes.
Let's not make this a priority or point of emphasis.
He starts listing all the shoes he has.
I wish they have some. Can you put some super chat? I'm gonna
go to motherfucking DSW after the show's over and buy some new goddamn
Johnny
shoes.
starts naming all the shoes he has.
Jay, we're not worried about them. Jay, you look fly, bro.
Leo, please do not interrupt with this garbage again. There are people, I'm sure, on the stream that want to talk Packers Cardinals, and that's what we're here to do. So with all due respect to our new partner, Bird Game Travel, we got to keep this ship on the... If Saul was here, he'd shut this shit down. Where are you at, Saul? Come on, man.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and shut it down since Saul's not here. We do have a graphic that history tells us that Aaron Rodgers actually plays well without Davante Adams. Again, we do not know whether or not for sure he is going to play.
Pimp Cup for Frank, $2 super chat. There you go, Frank.
That's all I need, brother. 2 more. Come on. Let's keep it going. I need more Pimp Cups, and I got a couple of them waiting to pull out. Now, back to go right ahead, sis. Run that.
Quit soliciting our viewers for your Pimp Cup, Frank.
I don't know what to do. I'm like, hey, look, I got more cups coming.
All right, Leah, can you put up the graphic that I was talking about?
There
all right, Aaron Rodgers with and without Davante Adams since 2019, which is the Matt LaFleur era. So he is 6-0 since 2019 without Davante. And if you take a look here, I mean, his passing yards and completion percentage, that's fairly close to each other. He's thrown 17 touchdowns without Davante in those games. And then, the thing is Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to pick up some slack even with, even without his top target. And Vance Joseph actually compared him to a guy kind of like Tom Brady in that regard. And actually felt like it could be more dangerous for the Cardinals defense if Davante Adams isn't on the field.
Sorry.
I think those guys like, Aaron, Tom, those guys, when they don't have their main weapons, it falls back on those guys. And sometimes it helps them to play an even cleaner game. He's not forced to force the ball at Adams, and when you have a guy like Adams who's a volume, pass catcher, you can kind of trap him into throwing the ball to Adams some. But without Adam, it's going to force Aaron to play a true game, and that's sometimes dangerous for us. but he's played his best ball without Adams. And again, not having Adams is not good for them, but it's going to force Aaron to obviously, play a cleaner game. And history showed you he's played good.
That's Vance trying to convince the press what he's trying to convince his own team. They're not going to be better without Davante Adams. I would agree he's going to be forced to spread the ball around more. I just think that the Cardinals win a lot of regular season games since Matt LaFleur became their head coach, with or without Davante Adams. He's an elite regular season head coach. And you might say, well, they have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, his last year, they were under 500. It was not a good situation. Matt LaFleur has stabilized the offense. They're a predominantly running team with some play action with Aaron Jones and I keep wanting to say Corey Dillon, but A.J. Dillon. That's what I think that they'll lean on this week. Jones is a phenomenal pass-catching back, so we might see him split out wide. But to me, I love Vance. That's just Vance trying to get his guys hyped for like, hey, don't downplay the Packers, which, by the way, I don't think they will.
That would be true had not the stats proven different, though. Like, he's 6-0 without the dude, and the stats are better. His quarterback rating is better. Here's the crazy thing I say, and I'll tie in with what he said, and just this little note that, look, they're running a West Coast offense that's a 3 to 5 step drop back offense. It happens pretty fast, and it's supposed to be really pretty easy to flow out of. 1, 2, if he's not there, dump it off to the back or dump it off to the underneath guy, and it's supposed to be that way. I'm watching Aaron this year and I'm watching what he does, and it just does not look like that. He's 1-2 and still pumping the ball. He's probably given up 3 to 5 sacks to the opponent team just because he's holding the ball waiting for somebody. And this is, of course, you're not going to tell Aaron, throw the ball, get the ball out your hand, damn it, real fast. Like, it's a 3-step drop back, get it out. But he's still holding that 3-step and waiting a half a step for somebody on the backside, and he turns around and fires with that rocket arm he has. And it does look that way. So to me, I think without Davante, he will be more efficient and more effective because he doesn't have to wait for him to beat the guy on the big play. Again, watch this here. Sometimes we see Kyler do the exact same thing. Kyler seems like he's waiting for someone specifically to get open, holding a ball, and we can look and see when there is someone running right across the screen, and he's right in front of his face, and then he waits and he's still looking. It's like, throw the ball. But that's the beauty of having, when you trust your quarterback and you have that much time and rapport waiting for a receiver, trying to get that ball. Davante is what? He is $19 million now?
Yeah.
What does he make, 19?
Well, and he's due a new contract, and that's been a big point of contention with them, which he'll get.
And so, right now, that top tier number between receivers
19 to 22, yeah.
See? So therefore, I mean, he's going to get his money. That's his boy. But I would definitely say that watching Aaron now, this week will probably make him more efficient. I agree with you 100% that they probably run the ball more. This is definitely a run first, pass later, play action, dump the ball to the tight end, get the ball out your hand a lot faster. But it's the stats are crazy just to think that you could be that much better without your top tier players. That's crazy to me. Because all he's ever asked for, though, Chierstin, is all he's ever asked for is to have great receivers, and they only had one. And now you still play better without the one. How do you argue for better when you play better? Yeah. I don't understand that.
Also, Marquez Valdez-Scantling could be back as well.
Yeah.
They are working really hard to get him back on the field and ready to go for Thursday. So there you go. We'll see how that plays out. That's their situation. Is it Beanard says, anyone else feel low-key sad that the Packers won't be at full strength? Very low-key, though, because Davante is very good. Okay, so, again, he's not 100% for sure not going to play, although it's pretty likely that he won't. But he does bring up a good question of whether if the Cardinals are able to win, does it cheapen the win? Because people can easily look at it and say, oh, well, they didn't have Davante Adams, they had another defensive coordinator, if that is indeed the case.
To me, I look at it as that is only for the naysayers who would want that conversation. Mm-hmm. A win is a win. The Green Bay Packers could be 2-3 walking into this game, or 2-4.
Could have lost to Cincinnati.
Coming to today, but I'm saying not just stats, just if they came in at 2-5 and lost, hypothetically, they still would garnish the conversation of the old Green Bay Packers, and they're coming into the that come in at State Farm Stadium with the opportunity to beat the Cardinals. Can the Cardinals beat them? That would still be the conversation. So regardless of who they bring, still having Aaron, I don't think it would cheapen it. I just think that it's just another little side piece of the conversation, sidebar-wise, but not
also,
really.
2 and 4 is 6, I believe. So I don't think they.
2 and 5. I tried to read
the people that doubt this team right now are going to continue to doubt this team regardless if they win.
It's bad.
They'll doubt them regardless of how Thursday plays out and if the Cardinals win. They're going to hold their breath and hope that Cliff Kingsbury fumbles it down the stretch. Hopefully this team's a one and done. People who have an agenda against this team don't want to believe that they went to LA and handled the Rams, or they went to Cleveland without their head coach and won handily, or beat Tennessee week 1 by double digits, a good Tennessee team now. So we're at the point, you're 7-0, and you've beaten a multitude of playoff teams of last year and teams that people thought would be postseason teams this year. What you have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. You might have the MVP at quarterback. What more do you want as in terms of results? So, I'll have to respectively disagree with our viewer that I'm not really worried about it. Again, I think when you're looking at playoff positioning, which we've elevated our expectations before the year, coin flip, just get to the playoffs, whatever that looks like. Now it's like, can you win the division and be the number 1 seed in the NFC? And if you get the Packers at 80%, 75% strength because Davante Adams doesn't play, and that gives you an edge, hell, they're taking that because it's a long season. There's going to be opportunities, I would imagine, over the course of the second half of this year that the Cardinals won't be at full strength. So, and they'll have to take on teams without, maybe a Hopkins or a Rondell Moore or a Chase Edmonds. So it's just that's the nature of the NFL season.
Well, and other teams have already gotten a banged up, whether it's COVID related or injury related, Cardinals team
That's
at
right.
times too. So that's just football.
If as long as Aaron Rodgers get on that plane and he lands in Arizona, they're going to believe that they got a chance to win,
Absolutely.
regardless. As long as he's on that plane, they got a chance to win regardless. Stats have proven that he plays better without D Adams, so it doesn't really matter. And so now we just have to believe that because they don't have Davante Adams, the Cardinals can't bite that. They can't swallow that nasty pill and say, well, they don't have their best receivers, so we can play games. Nah, they have to show up and really be ready to play and treat this team like this is a really, really big game versus a really tough opponent. And Aaron Rodgers is by far, he embarrasses defensive coordinators. He embarrasses defensive players across the league, and he's done it for years. So if they take this as something that's not on the table as important, then they would have thrown away all the work they put in for the last 7 weeks. And truthfully, when you look at our schedule versus their schedule, and JV, you know this better than me, that our schedule absolutely has been tumultuously
Not even close. Not even close. The Packers have played 0 competent offenses outside of maybe Cincinnati. They played a lot of Pittsburgh. They played Chicago.
Saints,
they played the
Bears.
Saints with Jameis, the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. I think this game is less about how the Cardinals defense will hold up against Rodgers and the Packers. Number one, because I think the run defense has been much better than each of the last 2 weeks with the return of Jordan Phillips. Just statistically, it has. They were great in Cleveland. Last week, they were great at home against Houston. I think the defense will be fine. If they give up somewhere between 20 to 25 points, that's expected against Aaron Rodgers. The Packer defense, which to me is average, maybe a little bit below average with
average.
no Jair Alexander. They don't have a consistent pass rusher. The Cardinals sleepwalk their way to 30 points. They average over 30 points. They've only had one game this year where they haven't scored 30 points. To me, if I'm Green Bay, this is less about, as funny as it sounds, Aaron Rodgers. Like, the Packer defense historically has looked slow and old, and they've changed coordinators. They have not been great since they won the Super Bowl with Charles Woodson and Clay Matthews. They're just, Devondre Campbell, there's a campaign in Green Bay right now. I love Devondre. Cardinals move off of him. They think he's a Pro Bowl player in Green Bay, and that's great. But they don't have the impact players in their front seven that the Arizona does. So sure as hell don't have a Buda Baker. So to me, if the Cardinals can play their game offensively and not screw around like they did in the first quarter against Houston, like, the Packers are not going to be able to keep them under 30 points. It's just not going to happen.
I missed this earlier. What is the over-under?
I think it's 51.
That's it?
51 points. So, yeah, I would say the Packers you would probably think are going to score over 20. And I think the Cardinals, I think they have to score over 30 to win this game, and I think they will. So I would take the over.
You would take the over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Have you taken a look at any of the options for a same game parlay?
I haven't yet. I can tell you right now, they're 6.5-point favorites in the game. I don't know if I like the Cardinals to cover the spread. I certainly like the Cardinals money line. I think they are going to win. I'll give my score prediction later in the week, but 6.5 points with Aaron Rodgers is just a little bit dicey. I don't think it's respectful to Aaron to say that. I think the Cardinals are going to blow the Packers out because, like, when the hell, that's probably never happened in the LaFleur era. So while I like the over, I like the money line, I'm still dabbling in a couple other categories right now.
Okay. All right. You still have time.
I do.
And all of you still have time to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app using the code PHNX. But as always, it's 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Apparently, as of this morning, 140 people are going to be joining us, as well as Bird Gang Travel Club out at the Lola.
140?
140, yeah. Bird Gang Travel, if you're still on, if you could confirm that number, that'd be great. But yeah, 140 people, that's a lot. It's going to be a party out at the Lola Westgate, 2 to 5 p.m.
And I'm not, man. It's early, so I'm not eating and I'm not drinking. I'm not having breakfast. I'm not having lunch. I'm coming ready for the buffet.
Oh, my God.
That's the way to do it.
Alcohol.
Gonna fast earlier in the day. There you go,
brother, so I can get it all in. I'm be manscaped up with you. We're gonna show our skate. We're gonna show our lawn.
No,
we're not gonna show the lawn.
I don't. TBD on that. We'll see.
All right,
gotta show the lawn.
Bird Gang Travel Club says that's what I heard this afternoon regarding the 140 tickets. Sellout is approaching, so that's good news. But you can still get your tickets. They're up to $65 now, but it is. During that time, it's an open bar and a buffet.
So a sellout would be 200, I'm guessing, maybe?
That's above my pay grade.
I just want to instill a sense of urgency for our viewers. Time is running out. Time is of the essence. Go buy your tickets.
Look, you said something earlier about what we've been doing offensively, just a team-wise versus
250
versus the league. And I know you said it's just 6 points versus Aaron Rodgers. But we've been whooping a lot of good butt. I mean, we've been kicking. I mean, physically.
Yeah. None of the games are close. It's unbelievable.
We have been that, like, when I say that good, like, and you don't really pay attention to how much you're leaving on the field. Like, we've been making mistakes and still dominating teams. And it's just, I don't want to, I almost feel like I think Vegas is absolutely right in the points that they're giving us in regards to what's taking place here, what's happening with the Arizona Cardinals. And that could be the moment where Vegas and the national media is actually seeing what we're able to do across the board. And we still don't have all our pieces. But to see what we did against the Rams, because that was always the question mark, the Rams, the 49ers, the Browns, and now we skipped the Texans, like nobody cared about Texans. Now we got Green Bay. And I think maybe that you think that might be something that's why that point's is so good?
They've gained respect. The public bet this number up. Yes, they have injuries. They have COVID-related absences, Davante Adams. But historically, the rule is no singular player in Vegas in the grand scheme of things outside of quarterback is worth more than 1 point. So the public bet this number up to 6.5 for the most part, which means the public believes the Cardinals are that damn good. Now, Vegas is trying to get people to go back on the Packers side because they want to have profit meet somewhere in the middle. But I'm with you. And that's why I don't care who plays. I don't care if the Packers backup enters the game at some point. Like if Aaron Rodgers gets COVID tomorrow, like that's unfortunate. At this point, it's all about stacking victories because we as a community, PHNX, you as the Bird Gang, the Cardinal fan base, the Red Sea, like the priorities have changed. This is about championship aspirations. J.J. Watt, Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury are trying to win a Super Bowl. So whatever the easiest path is, if you remember, and I compare this team a little bit to San Francisco of 2019. Came out of nowhere. They had the number 1 defense in the NFL. Obviously, the Cardinals are much more equipped offensively than Jimmy G was, but they had home field advantage throughout the Super Bowl, and that helped them immensely because otherwise I don't think they go on the road and beat teams. The Cardinals can secure home field and never have to leave the state of Arizona before the Super Bowl. I mean, it's huge. It's huge for this team, especially when you consider, like, this game, if it was being played in Green Bay, fast forward, we talked about it yesterday on the PHNX Cardinal podcast, in January, that's a huge momentum swing for the Packers. with all due respect to Kyler Murray, like I don't know how he would fare in negative temperatures in Green Bay.
I've been there before. It's hard.
Yeah, right?
It's hard. It's hard to play in Green Bay when it's like
I don't want any part of it.
It goes from the day when the lights out, the sun's up, and it's about 32 degrees, and little snowflakes are hitting the ground. But then when it gets dark and it drops about 18 and hits about 9 degrees while you're playing, and you're running in between the plays to go to that heater, just so you can get your hands, so you can feel your fingers and run back on the field before he calls the play. Run to the line of scrimmage with your hands in your little muffin area right here, and you run the ball, try to catch the ball, put the ball down, put the hands back in your muffin, and you run back, run to the sideline, wait for another. Oh, Jesus.
The coldest
Thank
I've
God we're
ever
not
been
there.
in my life
Thank God.
was at a Broncos game and a Browns game in Denver and in Cleveland.
Jesus.
And I just can't. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhat comparable to Green Bay, but Green Bay may be even colder.
It's
I don't
cold.
know. But it's miserable. And
Remember-
obviously that's not from a player's
remember the-
perspective, just a fan's perspective.
The Tom Coughlin face, do you remember that? When the Giants played the Packers to go to the Super Bowl, was the year the Giants, I think, beat Brady and company in 2007, and it was so cold in Green Bay. Tom Coughlin's face was like red from frostbite.
Yeah.
That's what the Cardinals would have to deal with. Like, so I know some people are disappointed Davante Adams isn't playing in this game. Motherfucker, we're trying to get home field advantage so we don't have Chierstin on the sideline having Tom Coughlin face during the playoffs. That's what we're trying to avoid.
Look, all you can hear. I tell you what, as soon as she gets that phone call that we're going to her stupid coach, she was
She'll
like,
be shipped
crud
out.
muffin. The whole way through, crud muffin.
It's
I would have to get one of those like full blown snow, like
a
one
puffy
piece.
coat.
No, a one piece like snowsuit, like all in one. That's
Looking
what I'll
like
be
the
wearing.
Michelin man out there. You're
Yes.
also covered up.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, a Christmas story. Yes, yes. Well, Saul's
cool.
here. I don't know if we can like throw up a Frank Nose graphic and Saul can hurry up and get in the shot.
Man, that dude is muscular. Jesus, that dude is muscular. Hey, let me
We'll
get
leave it
my-
up there,
let me get
and
my- let me get
so
my-
you're aware that is Bo Jackson's body, though, right?
I posted that about 3 years ago. I thought you just for real. I got one like that with a golf club in my hand. I just never
Oh, really?
posted it. Yeah, I was dating somebody, so I couldn't post it at the time. So that was like, yeah, nah. They get man.
Things didn't work out.
Frank,
I'm single now, so
That's-
you can tell that worked out.
I'm not surprised.
It's not because of that.
And look at that, Saul's here.
Hey.
Welcome to the party, pate. Welcome to
If
the
this is any
pate.
precursor to Thursday, it's gonna be
Look,
off the chain. That's right. That's
brother,
right.
I already told him that we're already flashing people with the Manscaped 1,000 Manscaping. We showing
The what?
4.0.
It's only a 4.0. It's
I
not
said
a 1,000.
4.0, bro.
Dog, that's like
But I'm flashing 1,000.
595 years later,
That's an
man.
agreement. That's like 1,000.
Frank, how come you don't have lenses in your glasses?
Because I can't see with them.
Yeah.
I can't. Like literally, I have no. Like literally.
I called him.
Like,
I called
she
him out
called me
off
out.
camera. Saul
Like,
just
I
didn't
have-
hesitate.
I can't
Just
see
totally.
with them. Like way to blow it
let
up.
the
man.
viewers
I was
know.
grabbing-
noticed until just now
I
when
was-
Saul said that.
It's
that
all
you
it's
didn't
all
know.
it's all aesthetics.
Really? You
bro.
didn't notice
I
that?
didn't notice until just
Sorry.
now.
I actually noticed it the first time you wore them, but I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't really want to say anything. And then
That's
I was
all
like,
aesthetics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Sometimes you gotta.
all right, well, this is your segment, Frank. So you have a few plays that you wanted to break down.
Yeah, so you know what? We always say this at PHNX. We try to give you something a lot differently than most places do. We always try to explain what you're seeing
This is my favorite
and
segment.
why
of the week,
you're
by the way.
seeing why things happen. So when the offense is doing extremely well, we try to show you that when we score touchdowns, what's the reason why? And here's another reason. So we're getting ready to play the Green Bay Packers, and there's a couple of things I want to share with you guys. That this is what the last game they just played was against the Washington Redskins, and they literally played a 4-3 defense specifically the entire game. But this is not the Washington Redskins. I was going to point that out. This is
Like,
the Chicago.
it says
but again,
there's a C
but
in the
here's
middle of
the
the
reason
field.
why, folks. I said that because, again, the quarterback for the Washington Redskins he doesn't really run the ball a lot. He's not the one that you should be scared about. But Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears is someone you need to be afraid of. So they changed their entire defense for the Washington Redskins, which is the last game, to now. So when you see Justin Fields, you can expect this is exactly what they're going to do to Kyler Murray because you have the same basic abilities. One can throw and they also can run. So this is a 3-4 defense with what the Green Bay Packers are presenting. 2 guys down, 1 guy standing, all right? And I always tell you guys in the game, see one step in the pocket, only 3 guys are rushing, right? But why? 3 guys are rushing because they don't want to really necessarily give up the running lanes that will happen that Justin Fields can create. And then also we'll show you another play to say the exact same thing. And I'll show you this here. They presented this package of Paul's right there. This is actually now a true out of a nickel package. This is what we would call a 4-2-5. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then the nickel back, and then 5 DBs. Well, what you will see is this here. Again, this is what Paul's right there. 93% of the Cardinals offense is out of the shotgun, right? And so what you see, they're going to have 2 guys rush the field, but those 2 fat guys in the middle, they're pushing but not pressuring. They're pushing but not pressuring. Mm-hmm. So the outside guys are with one intent to get on the out to make sure that the quarterback step up in the pocket, right? And then the 2 fat guys are sitting there, so they present a wall so he doesn't have lanes to run to or throw. And that's exactly what you'll see Green Bay Packers do against Kyler Murray. Now, good. Again, Justin Fields, good arm, made another great throw, good read, and that's something that our quarterback presents that's not necessarily what other teams are able to do. And that's something that you should be able to see. A mixed package between a 4-3 defense, 4-3 when you see 4 down linemen, you're going to see 2 guys rushing and 2 guys kind of like just pushing the pocket, but not necessarily with the intent to bring a lot of pressure. And the one before was a 3-4 defense, and you just saw that was an intent, just to keep Justin in front of them. And that we can go back and watch, which I did. You can go back and watch the Rams, which we talked about Aaron Donald, how great he was, right? And how much pressure that defense put on him. Well, we didn't hear his name called much. He didn't get sacked a lot, and the reason why is because the intent was to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but keep him in front of him and not let him get outside the pocket, because when Kyler gets outside the pocket, that Murray magic starts to happen, and then all we know is there's nothing that he can't do and the receivers can't do, and that just causes a big problem. So just a couple of notations that you'll be able to pay attention to as we go forward. Again, if you're watching film and you want to go back, you can go watch them play Washington Redskins, and you see basically a 4-3 defense, which was with the intent that they could just – all they want to do was get to the quarterback with sacks. Sacks because they knew they had a quarterback that was a pigeon that basically would normally sit back there, but he rushed for 95 yards because they kept –
I was just about to say, that's ironic because
ironic, right?
The guy that they did not focus around is the one that ran for the most yards on them all season.
And see, that's the part where you try – so that's what we expect this week with us, and that's how sometimes you play those cat and mouse games. And I think that what we will see is that what they try to do to Justin Fields would be primarily the defensive schemes you'll see. There was a couple more plays I had in there that where you would see a nickel, somebody was trying to blitz, and it was just really it was, again, a 3-4. There it is right there. Look at you. I didn't know we had that. But another play just, again, to show you guys. See that nickel back down at the bottom? And I always tell you guys it's a number game. So you can see out of Green Bay, look in the box.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look at our line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But that guy on the bottom right, that defensive end, he's standing over the receiver or tight end. And when you snap the ball, you'll see it goes to hike, and you pause right there real quick. And now what you see, you only see 4 guys going. You see 4 guys rushing, but then at the end of the day, you still see he has a pocket in front of him. They're just trying to mix it up just a little bit where he has to think. That cornerback is being blocked by two offensive linemen. 100%, that's his worst nightmare. You don't want 600 pounds messing with a 175-pound cornerback. It's just a nightmare. But it's with the intent to cause that pressure from the left side to make him roll to the right, and then just throw a little something at him. I would say that's the exact same front you're going to see from them when they're facing Kyler, because, again, I could say he just presents so many problems. The Rams' defense was just that amazing for the first couple of weeks of the season. And how many teams they stopped? I can't see because these glasses are messing with me. I apologize.
There's no lenses.
I thought I can get y'all with that. So.
They're messing with you because you feel seen.
I was just messing with you. I thought I'd get you with that. But however, I believe Kyler will see exactly what they're doing to him. He's so special. He presents so many problems to defensive coordinators. You remember Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, and we can name the names of quarterbacks that cause problems that actually can run and throw. Kyler is primarily, which you've said so many more times, JV, in the beginning of the season, and you, Chierstin, the same thing. His desire is to be a thrower or outside of a runner first. And so that in itself is why we look so good offensively. And those are the couple of plays you guys begin to see when you're watching the film or when you watch them this week, you'll be able to see what they're trying to do to your quarterback. And not only that, what's important is not what they're trying to do, it's what our offensive line is picking up. How well they're seeing what the scheme is happening. And, you know, a week ago we talked about the sight adjust moment. And that sight adjust happened primarily because they was able to see that. And that's important. And so we're growing and learning, but again, this is another challenge, but I believe we'll be ready for the challenge.
Frank, they're not fat, okay?
They're fat.
No, they're
fat.
They're not chunky, they're
Fat.
juicy. They're juicy.
Okay.
They're juicy.
So
with juicy.
are we referring does somebody want to be called juicy instead of fat?
Just a little thick.
Does somebody want to be called juicy instead of fat?
I'm asking.
Yeah,
What about big? Why don't you just call them
No,
big?
they're fat. Look,
Big boned.
Big boned or just big boys?
when they stand next to me, they fat. I just want to let you know, when you have 2% body fat and they stand over there with that good ribeye meat on them, you be like, look.
Good ribeye meat. Johnny's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Johnny, you know, because you're a 2% guy too,
I'm
man.
not. I have a dad bod. I used to be, you know,
No, you
in
don't
much
have dad
better
bod.
shape.
I have dad bod.
Yeah.
Look, you don't have a dad bod.
You know,
Saul has a
you
dad
got four.
bod.
You get 4 kids. You got a dad bod. All right, bro.
I'm just
I
saying.
appreciate you.
Make it work.
You know, when I look at the Packers secondary and their back seven, I just think they're like slow and unathletic.
They're so average.
And that's that.
So average.
And that's not the case. And they've got some players, but like historically, this is a defense with Aaron Rodgers that they just play complementary. They're just fine. And when the Cardinals trot out their immensely talented receiving core that is unmatched in the NFL, Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk underneath, and A.J. Green and DeAndre Hopkins, and now Zach Ertz at tight end, there isn't an answer for them. You have to have a Jalen Ramsey and an Aaron Donald even to neutralize this team, this defense. You have to have premier defenders. And I just think unless the Cardinals beat themselves and we see errant throws from Kyler, he had one in the third quarter, although maybe some miscommunication with Ertz, unless that's the game they're playing. And Tampa's got elite defensive personnel too, so I would include them in that category. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. Green Bay, to me, traveling, short week, COVID scares. The Cardinals should sleepwalk their way, I've said it all week, to 30-plus points. This game, theoretically, Vegas does not think this game is going to be close. Aaron Rodgers, it's always close, and he'll keep them in it. But, man, like, Jimmy Garoppolo tore up this defense, and they probably should have won that game. Kyler Murray, if he plays his B-plus game, I don't see a scenario in which they lose.
I'm still waiting for the Kyler game.
Like the 6-touchdown game?
Like the just, holy shit, this dude is unbelievable game. Like where he throws for 300, maybe runs for 100. He has not been effective with his legs this year, as effective as he was last year, I should say.
Because he doesn't want to be.
No, he doesn't want to be.
I don't know.
And
I watched him
fine.
Sunday, and he tried multiple times to do his little baby Yoda pose. He wanted that rushing touchdown. Yeah. They forced it.
You know why? Because he wouldn't go up the middle.
Well, yeah, because he can't. I wouldn't.
He always wants to divert backwards and to the right or the left. Yeah. Because I feel like for his height, he doesn't trust what he sees in front of him. Mm-hmm. So that's why he backs out. That's the same stupid
he knows
shit that
he can
I
get
used to do
the
in
edge
flag
and he has a
football.
better potential of scoring. But if he takes it up the middle, there might be more yards, but he's going to get hit eventually.
I don't know that we are, unless it's a playoff game, going to see the Kyler Murray magic. All on Kyler. Holy crap. I can't believe it. We just watched kind of game.
Chierstin, you just got to believe.
I don't even need to see that. Just keep doing what you're doing.
No,
Throw
I need to
4
see it, Johnny.
touchdowns.
I need to see it because I need to know it could happen.
No, he definitely can do it.
We saw a little bit in the Rams game where it was mistake-free football. I mean, in the Rams game, he literally played mistake-free football, and
some of those dimes were like,
I mean,
wow.
Yeah,
just that was a really to go in a hostile environment and have that kind of game he played in the Rams. That was
the boots on the goal line where he's untouched and he runs it in, celebrates like that. I'm content with that. I don't need to see him because that's when he had Hopkins and nobody else. In his rookie season, it was just a bunch of spare parts. Like this receiving core is elite. And his offensive line can play a little bit better. His elusivity in the pocket, like we saw on Sunday, where he can run to throw. That's all I care about.
But the Cardinals need a statement game. Like they listen. They've won every single game, and they're better than every single team. I think they're the best team in the NFL. But I still feel like they need that statement game where they just absolutely stomp the shit out of somebody.
This would be a good one.
And it's undeniable that they are the best team in the NFL. I want that game selfishly. I want that game,
and it's
Johnny.
on national TV. That's the difference. The general public didn't watch the Rams game, didn't watch the Browns game, didn't watch the Titans game. They haven't any nationally televised games either Sunday, Monday, Thursday, or even the NFL game of the week on Sunday afternoon. That's where it would be different. You got all the eyes on you. Every casual NFL fan is going to be watching on Thursday night. So I do think it will carry more weight. But I couldn't
care less.
Which version? That all the eyes on it?
What Saul wants to see.
They just want dubs.
Yeah,
they just want dubs, baby.
I couldn't care less what Saul wants to see.
Cool. I just want dubs, baby.
Teammates
they don't matter 2-0 game.
Yeah, PHNX out of context.
Let me rephrase that. I couldn't care less about.
She's over here in her Rob Lowe shirt, just rocking the straight NFL logo. Company
I couldn't care. You know what? I couldn't care less what Johnny wants to see. I couldn't care less what Frank wants to see.
She's in a Rob Lowe shirt. What would be a scorigami moment for this in this game? Would it be like 2-0? 2-0?
I don't know if that's happened.
It's based on what hasn't happened in NFL history, not what the matchup would be.
Yeah, Leah educated us on the tailgate show last week. There's never been a 2-0 game. I don't think I want to see that.
There has not been.
I don't think
I would throw up if there was a
2-0 game. They'll never. We've determined it's never going to happen with the rules today.
No.
Can you bet on that?
I'm sure you can bet the under, but
I'm sure it's like 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is a good bet to place.
Speaking of bets, if you haven't downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet, do so. Use the code PHNX when you sign up. And we talk about it all the time, though. If you combine multiple bets in the same game, you're always going to get a bigger payout. It's called a same game parlay. More legs you add, the more money you can win. And DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want.
So Thursday morning, before we go out to our pregame show, I have a very strict regiment I'm sticking to where I'm going to get up, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to spend a little time with the family, and then I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I'm going to be in the bathroom for upwards of 90 minutes to 2 hours. And you know what I'm going to be doing?
90 minutes to 2 hours?
You know what I'm going to
be cutting crevices.
Johnny.
You know what I'm going to be doing?
Yeah, trim the bushes, not scorch the earth.
I'm going to get
scorching the earth.
I'm going to get my lawnmower 4.0 out.
Oh my god!
And I am just gonna go to work.
2 hours.
And I'm gonna sculpt and I'm gonna trim.
Sculpt. You're gonna sculpt.
I'm gonna ensure that I'm ready
my goodness.
for Cardinal Packers using Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code PHNX, 20% off, site-wide, free shipping.
What
if you're like me.
Are you sculpting into like a Mickey Mouse figurine or something like that? What is going on over there?
I just feel like
Cardinal bird on the chest.
The individuals, God bless you, that have already bought tickets. Make sure you buy your tickets now for the Lola at the Westgate.
It's almost sold out.
It is almost sold out.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We're at 150 right now.
We're at 150 now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful partnership. Manscaped, Lola's at the Westgate with Burgain Travel. I just have to do service for the people that are there. I have to be prepared, and I get prepared using Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code PHNX, site-wide, free shipping, 20% off. Do it now.
Touching is not allowed. Rubbing is not allowed.
No, it's not. I'm happily married, but
nobody can verify whether or not Johnny was in the bathroom for 2 hours. Is what we're saying.
I think we should
2 hours.
Chierstin immediately knew where I was
moment.
going with that. Knew it was going to go off the rails.
We should have one flash moment, though. We got to have one flash moment.
No,
no flash moments.
People are trying to eat.
No, it's a flash moment. The Manscaped works.
No, man. Just show them your ankle or something. You'll be all right.
There you go. All right.
I need the Cardinals PR to let me into the stadium so I can cover the team. I can't embarrass the company.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Frank doing some sort of like wet T-shirt contest if we don't watch him.
No, we're not. No, cheers.
All these ideas.
Cheers.
No, we're not.
Just a terrible idea.
No,
cheers.
no.
I'm wearing
a
medium PHNX shirt when I get there on Thursday.
How long is it going to stay?
Medium, and it's going to have a slit right in the middle.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, Johnny V status.
We will have.
I'm going hard in the paint. I want to drink with Chierstin. I want to celebrate, get ready for the game. It's a tailgate moment. Me, Berg ain't travel. We go hard in the paint.
The stars are lying.
I've been waiting for this one moment because they've been asking me for. Look, we've been trying to touch bases for a minute right now. Only problem was that if I had an event on one side of the field, they was on another side of the stadium. And we never really could merge everything. And when they travel, they say, hey, you want to go? I could never go. So this is a great time. We at Lola. Look, I'm letting it all hang out. I won't get fired.
Is this going to rival Cardinals Cowboys 1998 for you?
There will be giveaways.
It's a great moment.
There will be giveaways.
There'll be giveaways.
We have T-shirt giveaways.
Yes.
We have a bunch of stuff in the works. to give to the fans that show up.
Yeah.
So you got to get your tickets and be a part of the festivities.
How do I get that fresh hat that you got going on with the teal?
Pretty fly.
You get that.
We got some hats coming out actually in November.
That doesn't
Just in
come
time for
today,
Black
so-
Friday.
yeah.
While we're talking about swag, we might as well just keep plugging away. If you didn't see our awesome shirt that we released on Sunday,
Johnny will be giving away out.
those are flying off the shelves already. Maybe we're just effing better.
We are just effing better.
Can I plug something real quick?
Yeah.
I just have to say this right now because I just feel like it's going to happen. Dallas, for anybody that's thinking about traveling to Dallas, I know it's a long ways away. It's January 2nd, but New Year's in Dallas is going to be epic. I just need to say that because I legit think it's going to be more than just Johnny on the road and Chierstin on the road and Frank on the road. We might bring this whole damn business on the road.
Can we get an RV?
I literally told Shane's mom that when I was having a drink
Shane's
with her.
mom.
Suck it, Shane.
Is there a chat for that?
Shane, you gotta retire after that one, brother.
Yeah.
Thank God.
A traveling road
rescue.
show, baby. Oh, that would be so epic.
RV.
You know that
to
game
Dallas,
getting flexed this Sunday.
road trip.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
There
Shane just popped his head in the door. Oh, man.
Way too funny. Too funny.
Anyway, join us on
man.
Thursday. We're
It's
going to
great
have a lot of
because
fun.
Shane's family
time.
watches the show.
All right, let's wrap this thing up with winners and losers from the week. If you guys want, I could start. If you want to start with winners, I've got a soundbite
Go
for
right
you.
ahead.
Mike, at any point in your coaching career, did you ever have an interest or express an interest in being a head coach in the college game? And do you have any idea how that may or may not have led to folks like Ryan and Doug Whaley and Carson Palmer connecting you to some college jobs?
Hey, guys, I don't have time for that speculation. I mean, that's a joke to me. I got one of the best jobs in all of professional sport. Why would I have any interest in coaching college football? That'll be the last time that I address it. And not only today, but moving forward. Never say never, but never. Okay? Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check.
Anyone else? All right.
Thank you. Anybody asking Sean Payton about that? You know, anybody asking Andy Reid about stuff like that?
You know why he's pissed off. He feels disrespected because he thinks the team's on decline. Ben Roethlisberger is about to get out, and so that's a shot at him indirectly that he's not an elite coach. The Steelers don't deserve Mike Tomlin, and if Mike Tomlin wasn't there, they'd be in complete shambles.
Dude, Mike Tomlin is, in my estimation, the best head coach in professional football. I love that man.
Mm-hmm.
I love his demeanor. I know players buy into what he has to say, his approach. He comes from a very matter-of-fact but loving place. It's a very unique perspective. And the way he approaches players, like I want to run through a wall for him. And I don't even know him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he is my winner, and I thank him for giving me a line. Now, if I ever next time I get hit on, I'm just gonna say never, but
Never.
never.
You might have to bust that out Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. I can't
For
wait.
all you suckers in the
I'll be
chat.
sitting right here like this. There it is.
There you go.
There we go.
It takes the right person. He said there's not a booster with a big enough blank check to get me to talk about college football. That's pretty special.
No, to
Pretty
go
freaking
to
special.
go coach
To go
college
coach
Yeah, that's what I'm
football.
talking about. But just
Yeah.
to
So
go
much
coach.
work that
It's
goes
pretty-
into college
Yeah.
football. Like,
Why would you want to
no.
go to recruit and
No.
become a used car salesman at people's houses, or you can coach in the NFL? Ask Cliff Kingsbury how that transition's gone.
I got my loser of the week, Keyshawn Johnson.
Okay.
Again. And the reason why is because I hate how he always says Cliff Kingsbury was only 35 and 40 as a college coach and blah, 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 for this very reason that we're just talking about. There's a big difference between the pros and college. In college, you could be a great head coach, but if you can't recruit for shit, guess what? Your team's going to suck. And in the pros, you don't have to worry about that. You just got to try. You got to leave that up to the general manager. You got to coach the players that are in front of you. And I think Cliff's done a good job since he's been here. A respectable job, at least, at a bare minimum, especially considering you had a coach the year prior to his arrival that had been in the NFL for several years and as a coordinator, and he didn't amount to dick.
They thought they were getting another Mike Tomlin with Steve Wilkes. That's who Steve Keim compared him to when they were hanging out on the beaches that offseason.
I remember Dave Pasch saying this is the most remarkable coaching staff that I've seen in my entire tenure here. And then they proceeded to go out and crap the bed.
He had a great press conference, man.
Well, here's the thing. You still, no matter, I don't care how good of a coach you are, you don't get the fucking players. It don't mean goddamn business in the NFL. 100%. I don't care college, pros, little league. It don't matter. This show ain't amazing. We won't get Chierstin, you don't get Johnny. That's what it is.
God bless
I'm just
you,
saying,
Frank.
like, it's just not. It is what it is. That's the truth. If you don't have the people in place to do their job that will do it effectively, correct, and right, and be professional at it, then nothing will be successful. So look, Wilkes walked in here, great resume, good conversation. Shit on him with a first-round quarterback who sucked in college. Hello. You need to have a college. Look at the Jets. Look at the Browns. Now we can talk about the Browns without Baker. You want to go back to want to talk about Cincy when they had shitty quarterbacks? We can do that conversation. So, look, if you don't have the players in the NFL, it don't matter. It does not correctly. It does not matter. And it does not matter what kind of coach you are. When you get to college, look, we brought top tier college coaches here, and they struggled. Because they didn't have the players. And if you don't have the players, you struggle.
You can also have the players and not be a good coach.
You can. I would really say that's a very small. That's a really small window. Like if we I mean, to my best knowledge right now, I'll go to Dallas when they had Jimmy Johnson, and then he had his crew. But before they sucked. Dallas sucked right before Tom Landry left. And then they finally recruited when I got somebody. Then they got somebody that can motivate them and get them to want to play.
They traded Herschel Walker is what
they traded and got everybody.
And they got Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin, and that kind of changed everything. And remember that first year with Aikman, they were 1-15. Struggled.
Right.
But then that next year, they made the playoffs.
Everybody bought into it.
What the hell just happened?
Got tired of being
losers.
losers.
We have a super chat from Bird Gang. Saul comes on and makes the show gangsta.
We all get everybody cussing now. Everybody got bad words and thug life.
I was going to say, if you don't have players, it's pretty much like New Jack City. Rockabye, baby. Rockabye.
That's it.
I don't understand the reference.
I know you don't.
Wow.
Let me give you my winner for the week. I thought that Jamar Chase was a poor pick by Cincinnati. I didn't think he was going to be I didn't think he was going to be a bad player.
What?
Let me
he didn't catch
finish.
anything in preseason, to be fair.
Well, and I was having a field day with that. But I thought he would be fine. I thought you cannot not take an offensive tackle when Joe Burrow's knee exploded last year and you saw that big scar on his leg, and it's the Bungles and their facilities are terrible. And here's Joe Burrow in the offseason. Come on, you got to take my guy from LSU. You got to take Jamar Chase. Come on. He lobbied to ownership. And I'm like, do not listen to him. Go and draft Penei Sewell. Go and draft Rashawn Slater. And they took Jamar Chase, and I'm like, he's dead. He's done. They're not going to be able to protect him. and it has been, I mean, Jamar Chase is en route to have the best rookie receiver for any wideout ever, even better than Randy Moss, circa whatever that was, 98 with the Minnesota Vikings when they went to the NFC Championship game. Frank was around.
That was special.
That combination right now, I don't think that team's very good, and I don't think Zach Taylor's very good. Those two are willing that team to victory every Sunday.
The Bengals are legit.
They look like major players in the AFC because of those two. And it's like it's Chad Johnson and Ocho Cinco again. It's to a lesser extent Andy Dalton, AJ Green again. It's the combination of quarterback receiver that the Bengals have had. But I just think I was wrong. I thought get an offensive tackle, protect him. I like T. Higgins. I like some of their complementary receivers. They have Joe Mixon. I was wrong.
Dude, the Ravens have never lost like that at home, ever.
I know. Ever. That's why he's my winner. Like, he's the real deal.
They went into Baltimore and stomped them out.
Yeah.
Like, that's more than just two players.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
That win.
Johnny's the guy that people are listening to in Cincinnati saying, when are we going to get our respect? What do we have to do?
I like two of your players.
Look, that
your
win.
coach is a big time fraud, though.
They're the number one seed in the AFC right now.
For now.
Oh my God,
Jamar
Johnny.
Chase is the real deal. I didn't like the pick. I was wrong.
That win feels like 2 victories.
Yeah.
And it literally feels like 2 years of just it is a.
There are high school teams in Cincinnati that have better facilities.
Johnny,
like
shut
that.
your
No.
mouth.
They have better indoor practice. I don't think the Bengals have an indoor practice facility. I just think they're like a
No.
Mickey Mouse organization.
They do practice right underneath the freeway.
They had
That
like
is
a
true.
staph infection
Underneath
breakout.
the freeway?
Like it's
not
yeah,
like
literally
underneath.
it's literally like right
overhang
there.
is like
Mike
it's like
Brown
right there.
is
No
like their
I've
GM.
been there. I don't remember
Yeah.
the. Okay.
Yeah.
The stadium's right here, and then they have another field like right on the other side
Okay,
of
I
it.
guess I just
And then
never
there's
saw
like
the.
a highway like
Yeah.
right beside it, but there's no bubble.
You
nothing.
could chuck your Gatorade out the window
yeah,
and
you
hit a
could.
player.
You get more credit
Well,
from
yeah,
me when you
yeah, have a good
overcome bad ownership, adversity in your organization. Like I think Mac Jones is doing some nice things, but he has the gravitas of the New England Patriots. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I think, are overcoming the Bengals and their dysfunction, and that to me, you're big time winners.
That's true. That's a good point, man. I'm gonna be a homer, and I'm gonna say Zach Ertz. I'm just gonna say, my man. After you get traded, and then you come to a team that's winning, and you already know what a Super Bowl feels like. So you know what that looks like. You know what a team that has gone all the way looks like and feels like. You know what that moment feels like. And again, yeah, my buddies JJ and my wife play soccer. Screw all that. I play football. I want to be on a team. I'm gonna lose. I was a winner, and now I'm a loser. I've been losing, and now I get a chance to go to a winner. I get to go play a place where the coordinator has figured out what to do. The head coach is figuring out what to do, and I'm playing with other ballers. That is win, win, win across the board. Your wife's happy, your family's happy, and you're at a place where you could be happy at. That's a win, win, win. So like that is a true winning situation. So Zach's my dude. He's winning.
My winner of the week. Yeah, I'm trying not to be a homer, but it's a fact. Like it's you guys. Like no bullshit. You guys is.
I
you
feel
guys
like this is a setup.
Did you not prepare for the show?
You guys
That's not going too
no.
nice.
I got stats. I got stats.
Chierstin said that to me too.
Yo.
Like, did you not prepare? You got a real
like
yeah.
you guys have increased your viewership by like 40%. Like you guys have been killing it. You guys are over 2,000 followers on Twitter. So thank you everybody for following them on Twitter.
Thank you.
And on top of that, like the tailgate is resonating with people. Thanks to our friends at Burgang Travel for coordinating that with us as well. Like people are tracking, people are wearing the shirts. Like you guys are pushing that stuff. So I appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Do we just end it on that? Because that's a great note to
I'm
end
good.
it on.
I'm fine
I
with
mean,
that.
I don't need to lose. I'm good.
We're gonna go renegotiate our contracts now with PHNX.
Be right back. Be right back.
Well, we appreciate everybody who has subscribed and who has followed us on social media. If you have not, at PHNX_sports, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.